In this video, I wanted us to look at some two recent political statements that have come from UDA, and in my own understanding, it forms part of the basis why Uhuru and Raila are actually committed to seize power from him. Actually, not from him, but are committed to win against him. William Ruto yesterday, when he was hosting some leaders from Marsabit, he came out to say how he was even regretting forming the government in 2017 with President Uhuru Kenyatta. And in that statement, that was just a 3-minute video, he came out to speak about some of the things that Jubilee did and also attacking the handshake team in what he actually believes that is the handshake team that actually sabotaged the government. This has been an back and forth, while Ruto maintains that Raila is the person who made sure that government did not deliver in second term, because according to him, Jubilee government did not deliver, but I think he's just trying to lie. Uhuru maintains that he delivered better in the second term by working with Raila Odinga. So I want you to listen to this clip here.
Baada ya uchaguzi tena tukapata matatizo. Ile serikali tulikuwa tumetengeneza ikawa ni serikali ya kisirani. Inafukuza huyu, inafukuza huyu, inafukuza yule, kesi, DCI, EACC, usiongee na huyu, usiongee na ule. Si mnaelewa ile kitu ilifanyika kwa hii Kenya? Wengine wetu tukaambiwa kaeni pembeni. Kina Duale hawa wakafukuzwa. Kina nani wakafukuzwa. Ile serikali yetu ikakuwa taken over by watu wakora, ambao hatukufanya kazi na wao, hawakutusaidia kutengeneza hiyo serikali. Si ni kweli? Saa hii tunaongea.
Secondly, the UDA members of parliament led by Kimani Ichung'wah are proposing a raft of changes in the budget. You know, the budget process is now going on. And they want to cut some allocations to the executive and some other allocations that are really in that budget and try to align them to their policies of Hustler Nation. According to them, they are going to form the next government. And I think even Deputy President mentioned about that. They are going to form the next government. So this budget that is being made now should be made according to their wish. I think as much as it is being optimistic or praying one for the gallery, it is also look like sabotaging the government. Yes, it is barely 6 months to general election, and it is true that there will be government after August. There will be another government after August, if all goes well. Or maybe you never know, you can go to rerun and things can always change. But the pronouncement that the budget must be done according to what they wish, in my understanding, it seemed like Deputy President is still in this second term of his tenure as a Deputy President. He has not yet been elected, but already wants to run a parallel budget. Understand? So it will look like a competition with President Uhuru Kenyatta. And I think the people who are advising them on that, in my own understanding, I think they're getting it wrong. They can make it, they can make the adjustments, but it should not be a package and branded in terms of, I don't know, Hustlers Fund. And Kanigi Nkega was telling them that that is a populist move. Even though they are called to reduce some of the allocations to executive, yes, they might be legit, they might be rational calls, logical calls, but it should not be presented in a manner that looks like they want to run a parallel budget even before the general election. That's my wish. That's what I realize. So in this government, in the light of those two, in this analysis, in the light of these two instances that I have listened to, I came out with some 4 reasons why I think that Uhuru and Raila do not welcome William Ruto presidency. And this, the others that have been mentioned about the business interest and the transition of power, that you know what, but I don't think I have come up with something different. Now, before you go there, if you're watching this video and you haven't subscribed, take a second and subscribe. More importantly, also click the notification bell so that when we publish a video, you will be notified. And you can also give us your feedback. One thing I see inside William Ruto's government, very retrogressive roadside policies. William Ruto is brand Magufuli, but he doesn't seem like someone who really wants to give a big thought, because when he goes to a rally, for example, he goes to a rally somewhere and he has seen the crowd, maybe he did not expect to find the mamambogas there. Then he got there and find mamambogas and watu boda boda. Instantly, something comes up, we are going to Tenga some 90 billion to support this. But some of these things are not well thought out. And the reason I'm saying they might really go through some retrogressive policies that are unachievable is the real example is this allocation of billions to the small scale businesses in the plight of the bottom up, trickle down. So bottom up says that you support people at the lower part of the pyramid, then these people are going to pay taxes and that can spur the economy. I am not an economist, but heavy taxation is not one of the ways to spur the economy. Actually, even this regime, people are complaining about heavy taxation. My question is here: if you give people this allocation, let's say you give it a grant as a loan, you might give it as a loan. If you give it as a loan, do you think, what is the timeline that you're giving, that okay, after these 4 months or 1 year or so, we are going to recollect? Or you're just giving them, they pay taxes, and do you know there is also tax evasion? Two, if you give them money and all of them become producers, all of them do farming, for the cycle to complete, there should be a manufacturer and there should be someone there who is buying. There should be a consumer. So that model do not really put into context who is the consumer. And that is why I think there will be a lot of policies that are just thrown there, and we are doing it whether it fails or not. That is it. And that brings me to my second point: a disillusioned public. The disillusioned public is this: they have been promised everything. And you know, when you go to the rallies and you go to the villages down there in Runyenye, in uko chini, in Elego Songa uko chini, and you tell someone that tumetenga hapa 90 billion, people don't even understand. People don't know. There are people who don't know what is 90 billion, honestly. Someone I've never even seen 100,000. Then you're telling this person, no, I'm going to set aside 90 billion. So if you say you're going to set aside even 100 billion, they don't understand. But one thing, there is an example, okay? That's a lot of money. So we're going to get a lot of money. In any case, this will not happen. There'll be a very bad backlash with the public. And not even that. Even if you give that money and you get the framework where it is provided through the provincial administration, so these people are supposed to pay back and they're not paying back, what are you going to say? It's going to set you up against the common man. So that is why I think there is going to be some policies, they might look good, but on implementation, they're going to turn out to be different things. Thirdly, there is something I realized. It's called the sense of entitlement. And if you listen to what he spoke, if you listen to that clip about when he met the Marsabit leaders, yes, he looked like, okay, fine, we wanted to, I said, he was saying himself that he was going to champion for the rights of the pastoralist community because he comes from that area. There are people within the Rift Valley and around William Ruto that believe that, you know what, this is our space, this is our area, this is about us. And that sense of entitlement can even bring animosity. You know, let me tell you, the 2007 post-election violence was just a blow up of animosity that started over from the 1992s. Kitambo sana. When people in Rift Valley, some of them thought like, okay, fine, we are here, but these people are invading our land. You understand? So I think like the way he is, the bitterness he's doing, when he gets to government, there'll be a sense of entitlement. No, we fought for this and this is ours. I think that will be a very big setback on him. Lastly, there is something that William Ruto doesn't talk about, that is corruption. And of course, he's been challenged to come out and say, at least give a policy or say something about corruption. What do you think about it? People have always thought that, okay, in his government, he might have a very soft spot for people who will be running away with government money, siphoning the public funds. And I think it's high time he come out and speak about it openly. The last two that I want to look at is this issue of CBC. Mudavadi and Wetangula are out to derail the CBC. So if they get power and they disrupt it, then there will be disrupted education. That is something they need to look at. I also preempt that. Let's look at the Sipangwingwi. And I've mentioned in one of my analysis, Sipangwingwi, in fact, the Kiswahili word is Sipangwi. So Sipangwingwi means, I don't know, you cannot direct me or you cannot manipulate me. But it entails a culture of rebellion amongst the Kenyan people. Even at workplaces, you will even see juniors telling their bosses that, you know what, Sipangwingwi, because it will become more of a culture. It's a bit of an insightful word, and I think politicians need to keep off that word of Sipangwingwi, because for me, it doesn't really give very good impression. It doesn't breathe hope to people. In fact, in simple terms, it makes people become very tough-headed and watu ambao hawezi ambiwa kitu, but in real life lazima upangwe. Guys, that's my analysis. What do you think?